This is a recap for Tuesday, December 14th. I'm going to do 4 problems, and we worked on these in class today, some of the more challenging two-step equations. And I'm going to start with one that's from a puzzle that was handed out. And the problem was 10 minus 6x equals 46. So we have a number, we don't know what it is, we'll call it x, it was multiplied by 6, and that amount was taken away from 10. Many students want to now add 10 because they see the subtraction, but subtraction doesn't go from right to left. 10 was not taken away from 6x. So in fact, 10 was added to this amount, so we're going to subtract 10. That creates a 0. So we're going to create that 0, and negative 6x equals 36. So then we divide by negative 6, and we get x is equal to negative 6. And to check that, we're going to replace the x with the negative 6. 10 minus 6 times the negative 6, and 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. 10 minus a negative 36. When we subtract a negative, it's the same as adding the opposite, so we do get to 46, and that checks out. On problem number 3 here, we're going to add 7 to both sides of the equation. And that creates a 0, so we have 1/3 m is equal to negative 3. We're going to multiply times the reciprocal of 1/3, which is 3. So 3 times, we have to do that on both sides of the equation. On the left side, that results in just a coefficient of 1. On the right side, it's negative 9. And when we check that, 1/3 of negative 9 minus 7, 1/3 of negative 9 is negative 3. Negative 3 and negative 7 checks out. It is negative 10. This is another one where, surprisingly, we're going to subtract 16. We're going to subtract 16. Another way of thinking about this is that it's 16 plus negative 8r equals 40. So then it might be a little easier to see why we subtract there. So that creates a 0. We've got negative 8r equals 24. Divide that by negative 8, and r is equal to negative 3. So we go to check that. 16 minus 8 times negative 3, and 8 times negative, we're wonder if that equals 40. 16 minus 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. When we subtract a negative, it's the same as adding the opposite. The opposite of negative 24 is 24, and this does equal 40. Okay, last problem. Again, we're going to subtract 6 to make a 0. Negative 3/4 x is equal to negative 18. We're going to multiply this by the reciprocal of negative 3/4, which is negative 4/3. So that means we multiply this times negative 4/3. This all goes to 1x because what I'm about to highlight is just equal to 1. That's equal to 1. Negative 4/3 times negative 3/4 is equal to 1. And this is going to be a negative times a negative, so that's going to be positive. 4 times 18 is 72 divided by 3. So x is equal to 24. So that's what we're going to check. 6 minus 3/4 of 24. And we're going to see what that equals. 6 minus 3/4 of 24 is 18. And that is equal to negative 12, which is what we were looking for. So that is a recap for Tuesday, December 14th.